Hi girls. I don't know if you know this, but there is an art to being a girl. Today we're breaking that down. We all know girl math, but I'm about to tell you about girl science. Girl science is that when you look good, you feel good, and when you feel good, you do good. With the help of Sephora, so kindly sponsoring today's video, I'm going to show you all of my routines that I do throughout the entire day that make me feel good, feel like the best version of myself through beauty products, hair products, skincare routines, everything, even from like when I'm sweaty on my walks to getting ready for the day. I just find that when I set aside some time to get myself ready, my whole day goes so much better, and sometimes that gets overlooked. Let me show you how I get ready for this walk today. Good morning. I'm going now for my workout, which is going to be a walk. First up is skincare, and every product that I talk about in this video, by the way, will be linked down below. I get all of my products from Sephora. I'm also gonna leave a link down below in addition to all the products if you guys wanna sign up to become a Sephora beauty insider. I definitely recommend it. There's different tiers that you can eventually become. I digress, but I'm starting off with skincare. I've been really liking the Inkey List Hydrating Cream to Milk cleanser. I find that in the summer, my skin is actually more dry in the summer than it is in the winter. It's also just a little bit more sensitive because it's in the sun. So I like to use a really gentle and hydrating cleanser, and that's why I really like this one from the Inkey List. Washing your face in the morning wakes me up unlike anything else, and it makes me feel like I have like a full face of makeup on and the confidence of like a full face of makeup. I really like this hydrating sunscreen Milk from First Day Beauty. There's something about it being a milk that is so like luxurious and moisturizing. Before my workouts, I don't do like a full skincare routine. I really just do what I have to, which is wash my face and then sunscreen. Also because it's like so hot out right now, as soon as I sweat, all of my skincare is gonna come off. So I don't do like my big skincare before my workout. I also just feel so untidy if I don't do my eyebrows. I have my eyebrows microbladed so I don't fill them in, but I do go in with the Anastasia Brow Freeze Gel. All right, hair. So it always just starts with a part. I typically rock a middle part. I like to go in with a styling cream. This is the Day Cactus Fruit 3-in-1 styling cream. This one is definitely my favorite. I like this one a lot because it keeps your hair exactly where you put it, but it doesn't make your hair crunchy and it doesn't make your hair look greasy, and you can kind of like come back from this hair cream too. I just like to gather my hair into a pony, and I just use a normal brush to begin with just to kind of get the placement of it where I like it. But then this is the secret, going in with a boar bristle brush. This is my favorite. This one is patterned and it's double-sided. So one side is finer and the one side's a little bit more coarse. I like to go in with the finer side, and you see how my hair kind of has like strokes from the brush? This really just smooths it out and gives you that slick look. If you want to do slick backs, you need a boar bristle brush like this. I like how big this one is because it covers a really big surface area. You just tie it off. I always like the look of a braid in my hair, especially when it's hot and humid out during my walk, so that my hair doesn't stick to my back and then become like a giant knot. I don't know why I do it this way. A few more steps, but I need to change and then I'll be right back. In addition to obviously deodorant and body lotion, I really believe in putting on like a little perfume before you go work out. There's a narrative around perfumes that it's like you only wear them when you're going to a special occasion, maybe out to dinner, like somewhere nice. No, you can wear perfume all day, every day, at any time of the day. This is the 7 Virtues Coconut Sun perfume. I like this one because it's nice and lightweight feeling and smelling. So it's not like a sultry nighttime perfume. It's definitely a summery scent. And yeah, like maybe I spray a little bit of a lot. I don't care. I want to smell good. It's just nice. Like when you're sweating and you omit this scent, it just makes you feel better about yourself. I'm off to my hot girl walk. If there's one thing that I've learned, it's that you need to have a makeup routine that is your go-to. Now listen, girls, I grew up with 2016 makeup as my blueprint. I grew up going to high school every single day with winged eyeliner and carved out eyebrows, okay? So I understand the desire and almost like the guilt of not doing a different look every single day. I'm not saying you can't do a different look every day, but I am saying it's time to nail down an everyday makeup routine that you can dress up for nighttime and for dinners and going out, but that also you can just go to for the daytime. That's what I'm gonna show you today. If you are a girl that likes wearing makeup and doesn't want the clean girl look, you're gonna love what I'm about to show you. So first, eyebrows. I also showered, which is why my hair is a little wet. I have a dinner tonight. So again, I'm using the Anastasia Brow Freeze Gel. Do a good old backstroke to really just get everything in there. Comb all the way up. I like to do brows first, especially this product because it needs time to set down. And then you just comb the hairs where you want them in place on the top. That looks better than that, don't you think? I am a big fan of underpainting. The Westman Atelier, this is the face contour stick. This one is a little more strict, meaning where you put it, it's kind of gonna stay there. I like to put this up onto my forehead, on my cheekbones, but higher up around my nose. This is really just to give color. I don't need to like necessarily contour my nose. I always like to put contour underneath my chin. I like to kind of make my chin protrude out a little bit, so adding a shadow under here helps with that. Then with any brush, start buffing this into the skin. If it looks a little crazy right now, that's okay. But you'll see that when I buff in this bronzer, I'm really doing it for color, not necessarily like contour per se. On my forehead, I buff it back into my hairline. I'm really gonna go in and like push this back. When it comes to my cheekbones, I'm not going any lower than where I put it. That's why I put it up a little higher, because it'll naturally drag down like a little bit, but I don't want it too low. I like to keep my cheeks lifted. And if you look crazy right now, that's okay. Next up is cream blush. I love the Say cream blush. This is in the shade Peachy. I like to put this again high up but pretty far back, and I love blush on the nose. I think it's like the cutest little thing, so I always make sure to put blush there. I just go in with a brush actually and buff this out, and again, if this looks crazy, it's okay. You'll wait and see. You'll wonder why you ever even doubted me. Next up, I love skin tints. I have been reaching for skin tints over foundation for the past 2 years. Honestly, I love a skin tint. So this one is the Fenty Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint. I also love the Say Slip Tint. I also love the Summer Fridays Skin Tint. I like to put it directly on top, and I just do like a little bit. Like if you can see, it's flat to my skin when I apply. It's not like I'm applying gobs and gobs of it. Globs and globs. I just kind of put it anywhere. I love this Say brush. I then just press this into my skin. This is where you'll start to see everything blend together. The underpainting begins to look softer. The skin begins to really take some form here. But this is also why I love a skin tint instead of a foundation when it comes to underpainting, because you can still see all of like that beautiful work that you did underneath. A big mistake that I used to make was I would go for the full coverage foundations. I was always looking for such a flawless complexion, but what I really needed were the layers within the makeup. When I started to underpaint, I realized I could still have lightweight makeup, but still have makeup that was makeuping. You know what I mean? When it comes to having makeup that is makeuping, I can't recommend more than to carve out your eyebrows. I'm using the NARS Creamy Concealer. I'm using the shade Medium Custard just because I'm a little tan right now. And with this, I'm just going in right underneath my eyebrow and just carving out my eyebrow. This makes such a difference in your makeup, and it's the smallest little step. If you do it with a concealer that matches, it's not going to be dramatic, and it just completely lifts your face and cleans everything up. Like, don't you see that difference? It's important to me to have a nice bright under eye in this triangle lining up to the side of my nose. We're gonna kind of do a reverse contour here, dragging it down underneath our eyes, putting a little bit here, dragging it up here, and then I put the rest on my eyelids to conceal my veins. I'm also gonna put a little here to kind of lift this section of my face up, a little down my nose, in between my forehead, above my lip, on my chin, because again, remember I said I have a small chin, so I kind of want to make it stand out a little bit. I then take a stiff stippling brush that's much smaller, and I kind of just pat this in exactly where I like it. And I make sure to have a towel close by, and I'm always blotting off that brush. So I'm not like dragging a ton of product around my face. I'm kind of just putting it where I want it, and I'm patting it the whole time. I'm not swiping ever. It doesn't really matter on the lid. It just gives me like a nice even base to work from. Don't you think concealer totally changes the face? I do. It just brightens everything up. I feel like it just snatches everything in. I love it a lot. Two powders that I recommend. The first one, this is a really old Too Faced one. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect. Huda Beauty also sells like a peach based powder. I love peach because it acts as a color corrector, so it's gonna help with dark circles. Another powder that I love and I use all the time, One Size translucent powder. You're just gonna want to take a under eye brush that is a little bit tapered. Makeup by Mario has a dual-sided makeup brush that is so good. I'm taking the powder and I'm blotting it off just like in the air, like I have it on my brush. Okay. And then I'm looking like I'm flattening out my under eyes as best I can. I do this by putting my head down and then looking up at myself so it's nice and flat. And then you just press the powder underneath your eye. If you are someone that you crease really quickly and easily, you're gonna go in with a beauty blender, and then anytime you get a crease, you're just gonna blot it out with a damp beauty blender. Then you're gonna set it immediately. I do it on my eyelids. You can set anywhere else on the face that feels good for you. I go on my lip, around my smile lines, on my chin, just pretty much anywhere that other makeup isn't going to hit. Bronzer. I use 2 bronzers. So the first bronzer, the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. This is like a classic. The other one that I love is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. On just like a fluffy bronzer brush. I just put this everywhere that we put the cream contour. My forehead, where I put it on my cheeks. I like to just drag it lightly across my jawline, but really focus it under my chin and then drag it down. I love the look of bronzer and blush on my nose, even though I'm not like, I don't really contour my nose and it looks like I'm putting a ton on there. And you know what, like maybe I am, but it doesn't feel like I am because I'm doing a really light tap into the bronzer. Yeah, I use 2 bronzers because this one is kind of like our base and then the next one is kind of just like our oomph, like it just kind of bumps it up a little bit more. With a blending brush and your bronzer onto the crease, windshield wiper motions, and just go back and forth with a light hand. I'm holding my brush at the very end. It's a lighter application and that's what we want. We want light. And then I'm also gonna put it underneath my eye as well. Moving on. I'm gonna go in with the Armani Luminous Silk Bronzing Powder in shade 110. This is so pigmented. The lightest hand. That's it. Okay, and I'm still tapping it off. You just brush it over top of the bronzer that you've already laid down. This gives you a glow, a sheen, a little bit of color. Oh, actually a lot of color. I love this blush a lot. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic in Pillow Talk. The reason I like this blush a lot is because this is such a great neutral tone on the outside, and then it has this like highlighter on the inside. When you mix these together, it creates such a gorgeous look. I have found for me, the way I like to wear my blush, I smile. I literally focus most of it back here, okay? And then once I feel like I deposited a lot back here, I start to just so effortlessly brush it onto the apples of my cheeks. And as soon as I start to see my cheeks get lifted with color, I'm done. For my eyebrows, I like using the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencil. It's just go right underneath and underline, or I guess like, what's this, outline? I don't know, just like make this nice and sharp. And then I kind of just look in the big mirror. I think like, okay, what needs to be filled in? And I just hit that. And I just try to kind of go like the direction that my hair grows. Sometimes the front needs a little help. And then I'll soften it up a little bit, but that's it. I go in with Benefit Cookie Highlighter. I put this on my inner corner, underneath my eyebrow from the middle out to the tail. Bam. And then just kind of buff it. There are some things about a 2016 makeup girl that will never die. One of them is gel eyeliner. Gel eyeliner loves my eyes, and my eyes love gel eyeliner. I use the Bobbi Brown in the shade Chocolate Shimmer Ink. As soon as I turned 25, I was like, you know what? Black is way too harsh for my eyes. So I now only use brown eyeliner and brown mascara. It makes my eyes so much bluer, and I just find that it's very soft, but it's still dramatic. And this is a Sephora 11 eyeliner brush. I just go right where my lashes meet with my skin. I just darken this up a little bit. For like a totally daytime look, if I'm just kind of lounging, I'll skip this step. When I go to dinner or I go out at night, I do love the look of like a little bit of a sultry eye. So I'll go in and I'll line my waterline, which I'll do now. That's why I love gel. You only need one product and you can put it like everywhere. And when I apply it too, it doesn't make my eyes water. And do you see the difference? Like this is just much more sultry and sexy, and this is definitely more open. open. The curly eyelashes. Then I go with mascaras. I use 2 mascaras. The first is YSL Lash Clash in number 2, which is the brown. And then I use the Too Faced Better Than Sex in chocolate, which is their brown. And I use 2 just because I've always liked to layer my mascaras. Whatever's left over on the brush, I'm gonna go and swipe along my lower eyelashes. I take my finger and I just sort of blot the ends of the eyelashes just so like all that extra product wouldn't have ended up on my under eyes. Finding the right lip combo is going to change everything for you. Huda Beauty just came out with her lip contour stains. You guys, I'm obsessed. I just got these in. I'm a changed woman. This Huda Beauty lip contour stain is in the shade Toasty Brown. The way I like to line my lips is I like to flatten my Cupid's bow and then I kind of make like a circle. So flatten and then kind of have to work quick because it's a stain and then just kind of smudge it down. Kind of just make like a circle. And it just gives you this really pouty look. And then you kind of just connect. Then I just like to go in. This is the Huda Beauty lip jelly in the shade Juicy Glow. And you can put it all over your lip. Then throughout the night, all you need to do is reapply your lip oil. I'm gonna dry my hair and I'll be right back. This dress I'm obsessed with. I did my hair, all the final touches are on. I hope this video was helpful. I hope if anything, this video has taught you that taking the time to get yourself ready is the greatest investment that you'll ever put into yourself. I always firmly believe that when you are put together, you want to do better in your day, whether it's working out, lounging, even just like around the house, just like wanting to do laundry or clean your room or just something to just make your day a little bit better. I just always find that just getting ready in any capacity helps. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I want to thank Sephora for sponsoring this video. Everything that I mentioned in today's video will be linked down below, and you can also find the link down below to sign up to become a Sephora Beauty Insider. Thank you guys again for watching today's video. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you all next week. Bye guys.